Good day everyone, I am Angeline Balaba from Group 4. In this video, I'm gonna use Venn diagrams involving two sets, the set B and set C. Good day everyone, so I assigned the letter A, which is the complement of B, intersect C. First, we draw a Venn diagram in the universal set, which is the set B and the set C. Then, we will going to find the complement of B. When we talk about the complement of B, we will shade everything outside the set B. That is not B. Then, the set C, we will shade only the set C inside the set C. So, we will find the intersection of complement B and set C. We will get the answer of complement B and the set C. So, we will find the complement of B intersect C. So, this is the final answer. I hope that you will understand the way I discuss the letter A. That will be all. Thank you.
Good day, this is Maris Kiduyak and I will be showing to you how to set shading the equation difference between B complement and C complement and the intersection of A. So we will go first with B complement. So the Venn diagram is shown there. So we all shade the elements excluding the elements of B. So that is the B complement. And then the next one, we have the C complement. So we shade all the elements excluding the elements of C. So we have C complement there. And then the next Venn diagram will show the difference between B complement and C complement, where the elements of B is where the elements of C also are contained, are taken away. So we have there the set shading of the difference between B prime and the C prime. And then the next one would be A. So we have there the Venn diagram of A, which we shade all the elements of A. Okay, so it is shown there. And then we would go now to our answer. The difference between B complement and C complement and the intersection of A is that all elements that are common are the result of B complement and C complement, and A is shaded. So that would be the Venn diagram of the equation, the difference between B complement and C complement and the intersection of A. That would be all. Thank you.
Hello everyone, maayong adlaw, Ma'am Joanne, and to my fellow classmates, how are you? I hope you are all doing great and lovely. This is Isha Kiada de Blas. For today's discussion, we're going to talk about the step-by-step process in set shading. I am tasked with letter C, which is A complement minus B intersection C complement minus A. So we have here the diagrams. A diagram consists of rectangle that represents the universal set and the circles that represents the subset. Since we have the given A, B, and C, we'll draw 3 circles. So let's start with the A complement. A complement or not A, or we will shade everything that is outside the circle A. This is the result. We are shading everything that is except the circle A. B, or we will simply shade everything that is inside the circle B. Next is the A complement minus B, or we will imagine subtracting or excluding the B circle to the A complement. So what's left is this part, some part of the C in the outside part of the circles. Next is the C complement. C complement or not C, or we will shade everything that is outside the circle C. It's the result. Next is the A, or we will shade everything that is inside the circle A. Next is the C complement minus A, so simply subtracting or excluding the shaded A circle to the C complement. This is the result, some part of the B and the outside part of these circles. Okay, since we know the results of A complement minus B, C complement minus A, we have to find its intersection. So I guess the regions that is both shaded is the outside part of these circles. I hope you learned something today. Thank you for listening.
So I'll be discussing the letter D, which is B prime minus C union to the complement of A minus C prime. So in order for us to get the final answer, we need to break down the sets. So in breaking down the sets, we will start at the inside of the parentheses, which is the A minus C prime, this one. So we have the set A. We just simply shade the region A, this one. We just simply shade this one. And next, we have the C prime. It looks like this. We're gonna shade the universal set. We shade the universal set, excluding the C part, excluding this one. So after getting the A and the C prime, so we're gonna look at the region A. We're gonna look at this one. What is shaded here that does not have in the C prime is our answer. So this is our A minus C prime looks like. So now we have already our A minus C prime. Next thing we're gonna do is we're going to complement our A minus C prime. So we're gonna complement this one. So in complementing, we have to shade everything. We're gonna shade everything except this one, except that one. So it's look like the opposite of here, opposite siya ani. So this is our complement of A minus C prime looks like. And next, we'll proceed to the C union to the complement of the A minus C prime. So in the C, we simply shade the region C. We just simply shade this one. So the operation stated here is union man. So we're going to join the two elements. We're going to join these two elements. So the result will be this one. Everything in the universal set are shaded. Everything here are shaded. So this is our C union to the complement of A minus C prime. So next, we have our B prime. So we're going to have the B prime. This is what B prime looks like. Everything in the universal set is shaded, but B is excluded in the shading part. So we will not shade the letter B. So subtraction is the stated operation here, man. So subtraction is the operation stated here. So we have to look to the shaded part of the B prime. We will look at the shaded part of B prime that does not have in the C union to the complement of A minus C prime. So we will Carefully look at the two Venn diagram. So, everything, so there is no shaded part. So, this is our final answer.
Hi everyone, I am Justin Jane Urwala, and the next set we're going to shade is the A prime intersects open bracket B prime minus open parenthesis A union B close parenthesis prime and close bracket prime. First, we're gonna shade the A union B, which means we're gonna shade everything in the circle A and in circle B, which would look like this. Next is the open parenthesis A union B close parenthesis prime. For this, we're gonna shade everything else outside the circle A and the circle B, which would look like this. Next is B prime or not B, which means we're gonna shade everything else outside the circle B, which would look like this. And we will not include the middle part of the two circles because it is also a part of circle B or the set B. Next is the B prime minus open parenthesis A union B close parenthesis prime. For this, we're gonna shade the circle A or the set A only. Next is the open bracket B prime minus open parenthesis A union B close parenthesis prime and close bracket prime. For this, we're gonna shade everything else outside the two circles, including the circle B or the set B. Next is the A prime, which means we're gonna shade everything else outside the circle A, which would look like this. And again, we will not include the middle part of the two circles because it is also a part of circle A or set A. And for our final answer, A prime intersects open bracket B prime minus open parenthesis A union B close parenthesis prime and close bracket prime. We're gonna shade everything else outside the two circles, including the set B only. And this would be our final answer.
So, good day everyone. I am Jesha Sampitan from BS Ed Mathematics student, and for today, I will be discussing about set shading. So, set shading, it basically deals with sets and shading, and it is our presentation of sets that use pictures. And today in my discussion, I will be using Venn diagrams to represent a certain sets. So, before starting, uh, my part here is letter F. Uh, The problem set was quantity of B intersection of A prime minus B prime, universal of quantity C minus A prime. So before starting to the shading part, I suggest that you first work with making Venn diagrams. A lot of Venn diagrams so that the flow of the shading will be easier and faster. So in my case, I did do a lot of Venn diagrams first before shading. And so when before makastart ta marag ganang ready na ang Venn diagrams dili na ta magkara-kara og ganang gama. So we will begin. So before that, in solving mathematical problem or long equations, we should first follow the MDAST and PEMDAS rule. In this case, we will be solving the innermost from left. So what is the innermost from left? So kani C, B intersection of A prime. Mo ni ang pinaka innermost nga gikan sa left. So in this problem, it shows that B intersection of A prime is the innermost enclosed in the parentheses. So we will be illustrating this first in our Venn diagram. So nagama na ko og Venn diagram sa B, which is kani, and sa A prime, which is kani. So ang answer sa B intersection of A prime is kani siya. Atong gi-intersect or atong gipangita ang asa nag-overlap si B and si A. So ang result is mauni kani. The next is B intersection of A prime minus B prime. So first, para makuha na to ilang answer, ato ang perform si B prime. Ato ang pangitaon og unsay porma ni B prime. So mao ni siya, mao ni ang B prime. And then now we can perform this problem. Kani siya nga problem, ma-perform na ni nato siya. So B intersection of A prime minus B prime is mao ni ang answer. Si B intersection of A prime minusan daw ni B prime. So mao ni siya. So next is nahuman naman ta ni B intersection of A prime minus B prime. So ari na pud ta ni C minus A. And sunod C minus A prime. So first, we will get C. So maonis ang si C. Next is A. So naa naman nakuha naman nato si C ug si A. Ang atong buhaton is si C minusa nato ni A. So ang iyang answer is kani. So after that, nakuha naman nato si C minus A. Ato na pong pangitaon si C minus A prime. So, na naman tay C. So, pangitaon nato si not C minus A. So, ang yang answer is kani. And then, nakuha na nato si B intersection of A prime minus B prime ug nakuha na nato si C minus A prime. So that maka-perform na ta sa set problems kaning tanan. Atoan ang ma-union. Ma-union na nato si ma-union na nato si B intersection of A prime minus B prime. Union of C minus A prime. So, ang final answer ni B intersection of A prime minus B prime is mauni siya. Kani. And the C minus A prime mauni. So, B intersection of A prime minus B prime union of quantity C minus A prime is equals to mauni ang iyang forma. So this will be our final answer. So I think that's all, and thank you for watching.
Good day, everyone. I am Angeline Balaba. In letter G, me and Kisha Douglas assigned this letter, which is complement of B intersect C complement minus A intersect complement of C complement union A. So I only assigned complement of B intersect C complement. First, we need to find the letter B. We only shade, when we find the letter B, we only shade inside the letter B. Next, the complement of C. When we find the complement of C or not C, we will shade the outside of letter C. Everything outside of letter C. Next, the B intersect C complement. We will intersect letter B and C complement. So that's the answer. The intersection of B and C complement. So these are the answers of B complement of C, B intersect C complement. Lastly, we will find the complement of B intersect C complement. So when we find the complement of B intersect C complement, we will look at the B, the C complement, and the B intersect C complement, so that we will get the answer of complement of B intersect C complement. And that would be all. Thank you. Next.
Next would be finding the shaded regions in A intersection complement of C complement union of A. We will start with C complement. When we say C complement, it means we will shade everything that is outside the circle C. A, or simply shading everything that is inside the circle A. C complement union of A. When we say union, it means the combination of the shaded parts. So in C complement union of A, this is the shaded part. Next is the complement of C complement union of A, meaning we will shade everything that is not shaded in this part, the C part. Next is finding A, or simply shading everything inside the circle A. As we arrive to the shaded results, we have to find the intersections of A and complement of C complement union of A. But as we can see here, we can find anything that overlaps in both diagrams. So we will not shade anything. For the final part, as we arrive to the shaded regions of both diagrams, we will now subtract A intersection complement of C complement union of A to the complement of B intersection C complement. So as we can see here in the second diagram, there is no shaded parts. So as we subtract it to the first part, this will just stay the same. So this would look like the final answer. And Viola, this is the final answer. So they are the same since the one being subtracted, the no shaded part, so it will still remain as this one. That will be the final part, guys. Thank you all for listening. I hope you learned something. Bye bye. Keep safe.
And the last set we're going to shade is the open bracket A minus open parenthesis B prime union C close parenthesis prime and close bracket intersects with open parenthesis A prime union C close parenthesis prime. First, we're going to shade the B prime or not B, which means we're going to shade everything else outside the circle B or the set B which will look like this. Next is set C. For this, we're gonna shade everything else in the set C. Next is B prime union C. For this, we're gonna shade all of the regions we shaded for B prime and for the set C, which will look like this. Next is the open parenthesis B prime union C close parenthesis prime. For this, we're going to shade the set B only. Next is the set A. For this, we're gonna shade everything in the set A. Next is the open bracket A minus open parenthesis B prime union C close parenthesis prime and close bracket. For this, we're gonna shade the set A, including the overlapping part of the set A with the set C, and also the middle overlap of the three sets. Next is A prime or not A, which means we're gonna shade everything else outside the circle A or the set A, which will look like this. Next, we're gonna shade the set C, which means we're gonna shade everything in the set C. Next, we're gonna shade the A prime union C, which means we are going to shade everything in A prime and in set C, which will look like this. Next is the open parenthesis A prime union C close parenthesis prime. For this, we're going to shade the set A, including the overlapping part of the set A with set B. And for our final answer, the open bracket A minus open parenthesis B prime union C close parenthesis prime and close bracket intersects with open parenthesis A prime union C close parenthesis prime. For this, we're going to shade the set A only. And this will be our final answer. And that would be all. Thank you.